So, like your last job in football was in Mongolia, like you said, your last thing. Because of that, you also lost a lot of maybe potential job openings, like you said in January, where you're in negotiation. But the one thing that we do not associate, or people do not know much, at least I do not know much about Mongolia, is football there. How is the quality of football in Mongolia, or how are the infrastructure? What was the were you shocked when you went to Mongolia?
It was like really landing on another planet. It was from the one side, let me go to the private life, let me go to the nature, let me go to the different environment. They call Mongolia sunny Mongolia. Because in Mongolia, around 250 days of the year, you have sunshine. You have pure sunshine. It's always nice, but it's ice cold for most parts of the year. Yeah, I came there, and you have to be very careful because all of a sudden a strong wind comes, the temperature go down 10 degrees, and you always have long underwear. I always had long, I had to protect myself, gloves, and always scarves and a hat. Have to be prepared for this. That was the one part. Yeah, you have food, but you don't have lots of vitamin food because they cannot plant these things there. You need all imported fruits, oranges, or who take a long way until to come there. So that was a little bit of a minus, but it was okay. It was okay. I lived in a very nice apartment in a luxurious luxury flat, I must say. I had a housekeeper also, so it was from that part it was good. Football, we started with the under 23s and with the under 19. I was responsible in my contract. I was like the man, I was national team coach and under 23 coach. The first assignment was with the under 23 in July in Thailand. I started in March. The decision was made to come there in January, started in March, and first was under 23. The next was the under 19, and at the same time, watch all potential candidates for the national team. Down to the under 16, I was responsible for everything. So it was a big thing, and Mr. Gambata and the executive committee, they wanted me to make a blueprint, to make a red line from the national team down to the under 16s. Yeah, we did that, and we were having a good game in Thailand. We played 1-1 in Thailand with the under 23. We got a little bit recognition. We started with the national team first game in October in Taiwan. We lost, but made a nice game. So things went on. Had a camp in Kunming in 2018. They gave us a lot of preparation camps all over Asia. We went to Japan, Okinawa for a camp. We went to Mokpo in South Korea for a camp. We went to Kunming twice. So because we had to overcome the cold weather. I remember in 2018, we had a 2 weeks camp in March in Kunming. And before we could only train indoors because minus 30 degrees. We trained indoor 40 meters long, 20 meters wide with 30 players for a period of 1 month. And we managed, after the camp in Kunming, we go to Malaysia, and Malaysia, best players, all top fit after a good preparation, and we managed to play 2-2. These were the small success stories in Mongolia, which we developed further and further and further. Then with the national team in 2018, it was a focus year. We had, similar to Rwanda, I said, President, you have the East Asian Federation Championships, bring them to Mongolia, the first round. And they did that. And never Mongolia had won this first round tournament, because the winner of the first round goes to the second round and meets Hong Kong and Chinese Taipei and North Korea. So we were host of the preliminary tournament in Mongolia in 2018 in September, and we won the tournament against Guam, Macau, and Northern Mariana Islands. So everybody very happy, first time in the history, like I did in Philippines, you know, it's the same thing. So we reached that. In the second round, we got hammered, but we have all these experience to become stronger and stronger and stronger. So the real target was then in 2019 in the World Cup qualifiers. Because in Asia, you have the least ranked 12 nations in the ranking. They play playoffs in order to reach the best 40 nations on the continent. So we were preparing for that, and were drawn in the toss against Brunei Darussalam. Okay, I said, okay, we play in Brunei. It's a hot country. We need a preparation camp in a humid conditions. So I had a good contact with a resort in Thailand, in Phuket. Steve Wallace was the manager. He got in touch with me. He said, Michael, come make a nice preparation camp for the Brunei games. Come here, prepare 2 weeks. I give you a special discount. So I helped the federation, you know, to not being in the need to spend a lot of money. We went there, had good preparation matches, get used to the hot weather, and then played the first game home against Brunei. And we're happy after 9 minutes. Everybody very shaky, very nervous, because you needed to win the game. If you don't win the game against Brunei, you know, all the work of 3 years or 2.5 years would have been, I wouldn't say in vain, but that was the target. June 2019. So after 9 minutes, free kick, and my captain, he scored a direct goal after 9 minutes. Very happy, stadium full. No mouse could fit in the stadium anymore. Everybody very happy. And then we needed another goal and scored after 70 minutes. So with a 2-0 lead, we go to Brunei Darussalam. And even I knew it could be complicated, but I thought we were stronger, we were more sound, we were fitter. I thought we will manage. Not easily, but it was a tough game, I'm telling you. It was a crazy game in Brunei. The team somehow was a little bit tired from the trip and had again difficulties, because in Mongolia it was 10-15 degrees, windy, and we get back to the hot weather. And the players always, over the periods of these 3 years, in the end it got a little bit better, but we always had problems with hot weather. So in Brunei it was 30 degrees, hot, very humid, and okay, game day. After 30 minutes, the keeper had a totally catastrophic game, 2-0 behind. Even. We were even. After 33 minutes, 3-0, but the goal was disallowed. Panic on the bench. I was panic, I must say. I was like, I didn't know what to do. What is this? I thought, hey, what? Are you crazy? Can you not get your ass together and be compact, try to play simple, you know? And then also on the pitch, all the leaders, the older ones, everybody complained to each other. My gosh, I was like, I didn't know what to do. 2-0 halftime. I discussed with the assistant. And I had one player on the bench who was the former captain of the national team. And I took him. He was a little bit aging. He was 32, 33 years old, Garida. And I said, Garida, come here. Now in halftime, because this is a very, very delicate situation. You are on the verge, you were on the verge to qualify for the first time in the history of the football in Mongolia for the second round in the World Cup qualifiers, yeah? And you don't want to go out against Brunei, with all respect to Brunei. They were strong at that day, but normally we should be better. I say, I give a few instructions, and you take over and take the team in your hands and push them, that in the second half we can proceed. We did it. I hug everybody. I say, hey guys, now be serious, okay? 2.5 years of our work is on the edge, you know? Be serious. I mean, not to say they were not serious, but they were too nervous. They were too shaky. I changed the keeper. The keeper had a disaster day. I needed to bring an experienced keeper, and he saved the game. So 5 minutes in the second half, we got a totally correct penalty. My captain, again, he scored many important goals, Zedembal. And at the end of the day, we lost 2-1, but we managed to go through. So all the media and in Mongolia, president, everybody congratulated, everybody happy. And yeah, we managed to go through. And with this event, my contract, I had a clause in my contract which automatically renewed until the end of the second round for a 50% higher salary. So that was a very crucial thing, because, you know, 50% higher of already a comparatively high salary for Mongolian standard. And I think when the people signed, the general secretary and the president, they signed the contract the year before, the extension of the first year contract, they didn't read this clause properly. So I come back and I write official letter. I said, my contract is renewed. Thank you very much. I'm very happy. I'm positive for the qualifiers. We need this. My contract is automatically renewed. So they check the contract and they see, my gosh, we have to pay 50% more salary. So I come back, and from day one, they attack me and they were a little bit mean, you know, and try to push me down. The president was on one hand on my side, but on the other side, many executive committee members said, Weiß must go. Imagine after a success like this, the coach must go. So at the end of the day, I was firm. I said, look, it's my contract. If you want me out, you have to pay me out for 1 year. Otherwise, we do like this. So they needed to accept that, and we continue. Went to a camp in Hungary in August to go against very strong teams from second and third league in Hungary. Was a super test for us. Come back in September and we beat Myanmar. So it was a perfect start. And then we played Tajikistan. We lost 1-0 last 8 minutes, unfortunately. We played in Japan. Imagine the home country of my wife, and with my story in Japan, we lost 6-0, but 50,000 people, unforgettable memory for me forever. You know, it was, we played Minamino and Nakashima and Yoshida and Nagatamo, all these top players played. It was a super experience. We lost 6-0, of course. I mean, Mongolia against Japan, please. 6-0 is actually a good result. Yeah. Then we had the last game in November in Myanmar. Unfortunately, lost 1-0. And then there was always problem with the payment. There was always some negativity around these payments, you know. So I was saying bye-bye after the Golden Ball in December. The Golden Ball is an award ceremony in Mongolia. The president allowed me to go home after this, and I was thinking, look, I bring so much to this country. You know, we reach so many milestones. I bring so many new players, young players in the team, and the people are still not happy for that because they complain about the high salary and ABC. So I gave them some options, and okay, they said, okay, maybe at this point of time, it's better to limit the costs also, and to find another way after Michael Weiß, after the success Michael Weiß and Mongolia together created. So we amicably separated ways at the end of January. The president said, Michael, see this only as a short period. I know my people, after a while, we will try to bring you back. I said, President, thank you very much for your kind words. Let's see what the future brings. So, and then at the last day when I left, already they closed the borders because of the pandemic. They heard of some cases of the corona. It was 28th of January when I left, one day before the birthday of my daughter, Matilda, who turned 12. And that's when the pandemic started, and that's where this is the difficult situation we are in now. Mongolia was very clever. They started very early to close the borders in order not to have people coming in and transporting the virus. They were very clever, I must say, really. Particularly, they closed the border to China, which is their neighbor country, which is the main export country. They put their coal and oil or whatever to. So they didn't have many cases, but the life was like dead from end of January until now. It's like almost like nothing. I'm still in contact, in good connection. Talked with the president a month ago, and we are still in good terms. That was Mongolia.